right one, yeah.
And then I gotta turn off your thingy-majiggy before it goes live. Gavin should... What are you doing?
I was getting this.
What is that?
Paper towel.
Da-na-da-na-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you actually did it.
Yeah,
I thought you were joking.
that's what I would have to do without you. I'd have to click record and walk over.
Well, and all of your editing.
I could never do that. I love you. Thank you so much for what you do for me.
Yeah, I love you too, Matt. Anyway.
Do we have people in?
Yeah.
Sup, people? Just wanted to do a little live chat. I got people in my beautiful locals community shooting in questions right now. A lot of them have to do with the Daily Wire visit. We want to talk about this debate tomorrow night and possibly a degenerate prime minister.
Yeah.
From Australia.
Yeah.
And the absolutely disgusting thing he just tweeted out.
No, it's an old tweet, I think, that got discovered. But yeah, I saw it recently.
Sweet. Well, so everyone should know that Thursday gave up smoking for Lent, which means you're going to hear him coughing constantly. It's very annoying.
I'm holding it in as best I can.
But can you mute that, Mike,
yeah,
if you
I'm
do
muting
cough?
it when I cough.
Oh, thank gosh. So annoying. Just start smoking again.
I'm really trying to quit.
No. All right, let's do this. We got questions coming in from... So first of all, we have a big debate tomorrow night. I'm flying in Trent Horn and Gavin Ortland. We're renting out a beautiful space at Franciscan University of Steubenville. We've already sold around 275 tickets, which is wonderful because it doesn't come close, but at least puts a dent in the price this is going to cost us. Stipends, rentals, camera people, all that. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. Gavin seems like a terrific, reasonable, intelligent fellow. And he is a proponent of what he would call, maybe traditional Protestantism or Protestantism at its best, steel-manned. He knows why he's a Protestant, I think he would say, whereas a lot of Protestants don't. And then, of course, we've got Trent Horn, who, to paraphrase him, may indeed, he didn't say this about himself, but he may be a cyborg sent by God from the future to save the church. At least in Protestant relations. So anyway, that's going to be on tomorrow night. And if you're a local supporter and you're coming, we're doing a private meet and greet at my cigar lounge immediately after. So come. I'm going to buy a bunch of bourbon for free. I'll just start pouring it for you, unless you've given it up for Lent, in which case you can have some water. Water in Steubenville is pretty great, especially since the train derailment. So we'll do that.
It tastes yummy now.
This is a different experience. It tastes yummy? What does it taste like?
It's got a nice little...
tastes like dead fish and...
There's some extra in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just got that that little touch, little spice.
Did you see Trump show up
at the McDonald's?
That was fantastic.
The McDonald's video was amazing.
I don't believe people if they say they don't think that was him at his best. Like, how could you not like him when he does stuff like that? Like him for that. I don't mean you have to like him for all the other crazy stuff he says. Like, trans stuff's okay. And
yeah. But, I mean, as far as, like...
showing up at McDonald's.
People, a candidate who actually understands, like, working people.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's been one in the last 50 years who matches him.
So, anyway, we got that on tomorrow night. That's Thursday coughing. And, and I was just, so anyway, let's take some questions. All right. I don't know what any of these are. Haven't seen them ahead of time. Do you happen to know, says Rosary Warrior, the day that your video with Michael Knowles will be on YouTube? So I did Michael Knowles. He's got a show called Yes or No. It's like a game they came up with. First of all, check this out. So I show Daily Wire is like a fortress. It's unreal. What? You give me that. I'm not going to say anything more, but just nobody should mess with Daily Wire. Let me just say that. It's quite the production. Anyway, I showed up and they whisked me away and did my makeup and ironed my shirt. Thursday does none of this for my guests.
That's true, and I will not. If you wanted me to
do
pay someone's makeup, you will have to literally double my salary.
And even then, I'm not sure. And anyway, I was on his yes or no game. It was really fun. The questions were really insightful and amazing, and we may have gotten into a debate about marijuana. So anyway, when is it going to come out? Maybe in a couple of weeks, I think. McClaw Kelly says, who did you meet? Andrew Clavin, Brett Cooper, Ben Shapiro. So amazing you got to do the yes or no game with Michael. When does it come out? I've already said that. Ben lives in Florida. Didn't meet him. Andrew doesn't live in Nashville. Didn't meet him. I did meet Brett Cooper. Honestly, Brett Cooper was the one I was most excited to meet. She's so beautiful and confident and fun. But, and if she would like to date Thursday, if you're watching
that.
Brett Cooper, but why wouldn't
that's
you?
That's a weird,
why wouldn't you?
Why are you being weird about this?
What do you think's wrong with her? Exactly.
All right. You are making this so much more and worse than it ever had to. This is just...
Let's see, what else have we got? Hey, Matt, says La C. You may have only spent a short time in Tennessee, but is the community there as nice as Steubenville? Eventually, I have to get out of Blue York. Ooh, I like that. And I'm considering different places. I really like Nashville. Went to a couple of really cool places. I went to the Latin Mass, and I guess the hurricane did damage to their actual church, and so they were celebrating it upstairs in the rectory. As someone who gets claustrophobic, it was kind of difficult to be there. It was just absolutely jam-packed. It was nice to see no one had a mask on, though. And everyone was so beautiful. This is what's so great about traditional Catholics. They are very attractive people. You have these gorgeous women, their beautiful hair, and their 8 children, breastfeeding 3 of them at the same time. My job is just to make you react.
Did you?
And then the men are just handsome.
I'm trying to read the comments, but I think what I just heard is that you saw a woman breastfeed
just
3 children simultaneously.
I just love how women who are traditional understand the point of breastfeeding and are not ashamed of it.
No, but
and then you have other people.
Did you say a single woman?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure you weren't like in the movie Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, no. But just beautiful, just wonderful families. Like if you want hope, if you want to see hope for humanity, like go to a traditional mass and just see these gorgeous people and their 800 children. They're wonderful. So that was awesome. And I'm just going to say this because Brett Cooper happened to be at Latin Mass.
Thank you for doing this because
she was
now
at
the
Latin
entire
Mass.
chat is also making fun of me for not going forward immediately.
I don't know why you would think something's wrong with her, but
I did.
You have high standards.
Never said that.
But I feel like I can say she went to the Latin Mass even though she's not Catholic yet because she was at a public event. I'm not calling her out. It's not like she confided something. So go, Brett. Can't wait till you convert. And then we'll ask Daily Wire if you can come on my show to talk about it and why Jews should convert as well. Hi, Matt. How was it meeting Candace? It was great watching your discussion with George, Matt, and Michael. There's a power force. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, I sat down in Candace and George's basement.
No, I don't think you were supposed to disclose where that was.
I didn't. I said their basement. I didn't say where it was. It was in a compound somewhere in Nashville. And yeah, it was great. I sat down with Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, and George Farmer, Candace's husband, and we sat for about 3.5 hours and just had a really great chat. That is available right now, but only to local supporters. So mattfradd.locals.com. As soon as you support, you get access to that. You get access to my interview that I just did with JP Sears. It was really fun. What was it like meeting Candace? It was awesome. She's such a beautiful woman. So she was just, cooking dinner for the family. And she's just lovely.
What did she cook, though?
There was a chicken, and she was squeezing lemon over the chicken. They're lovely people. Although I could not have their life, like having full-time security and couldn't do it. Next question. While with the Daily Wire guys, you mentioned your concern with the amount of cigars you have. Curious, what caused the concern? Well, I like cigars. And there was a time I was smoking one a week.
I like cigars.
Cigars. I like
Sound
them.
like Jack Nicholson Joker.
But now I'm
like
intentionally
cigars.
having one a day. I would like to get to the point where I'm having 3 a day.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't inhale and end up with,
No, just throat cancer and lip cancer and cheek cancer.
Look, if you have good oral health, there's no evidence that cigars and pipes alone raise your risk of cancer at all.
I saw that.
It's when you breathe them into your lungs because you can't clean them out.
Mm.
And then you end up with things like this hideous cough.
Again, I haven't read these questions ahead of time. Did I meet Jeremy Boring? Yes, I had a meeting with... I was supposed to have a meeting with Jeremy and a fella called Caleb. I guess they're both CEOs. I don't know.
Co-CEOs. Yeah.
Co-CEOs. Where would the church be without two popes? And but I met with Caleb especially, and we spoke for a while, and it was really fun. I met with Jeremy, and all that I took away was that he has really nice, soft hands. I shook them and thought, gee, these are nice, soft hands.
And I have made my opinion on that clear to Matt.
What else have we got? Could you see yourself discipling these men? By discipling, I mean walking with them towards the Lord. Well, it's amazing. I think Daily Wire is slowly being taken over by Christians. Like, maybe not even slowly.
I mean, the guys in charge are still
give it time.
non-Christians.
Give it time. Well, no, that's not true. Caleb and Jeremy are both Christians.
Jeremy doesn't go to... Does Jeremy go to church?
Jeremy
now?
goes to church. And
He didn't used to. I know that for
Caleb,
a fact. He didn't used to.
I don't know how much I should say, so I'll just stop there, but they're Christian. Let George know that I'm going to need him to start a podcast. All right, I'll tell him. Suzuki says, hi, Matt. So thanks for that. Do you have any insight into how Knowles, Andrew, Shapiro stay such close friends, even if they have such different views on religion? I don't know. It's like, how do you stay friends with anybody who disagrees with you? Like, you realize that this is a person and they're doing their best. And I mean, if you got the impression that somebody was a bad actor and that they were telling lies and saying they believed things that they thought were false, that wouldn't be someone you'd probably want to be friends with. But if you believe that they're sincerely seeking the truth and adhering to it as best as they can, or maybe not even as best as they can, but in a decent way, I think that allows you to have more respect for them. So I'm sure they have that kind of overarching respect. Man, these are a lot of questions about Daily Wire. What shows did you film while you were there? Oh, yes, I was on Yes or No with Knowles, and then I was on a show called I'm Doing Great with Mike, and I forget the Sheila's name. She wasn't there. She had an appointment she had to go to, but...
They wear a lot of Saint Wave merch.
Do
By
they?
the way, Saint Wave, send us merch, please.
Yeah, am I right in thinking Saint Wave has done some things on me to
yeah, the Tiger Beat cover is hilarious.
It's fantastic.
It's
I don't
so
know who
funny.
they are, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyway, Saint Wave, send us some merch. I'll get Matt to wear it on
Thursday
the show.
we'll make sure I wear it.
Only if you send enough. For
But
me,
I do
though.
want to do a shout out for I'm Doing Great. Because that fella is terrific. His name's Mike. And we went out, we had a cigar afterwards, we had a good chat, and I just thought, this is a good person. He said he just recently came back to the faith about 5 months ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
He's just a genuine cool guy. So shout out to I'm Doing Great podcast. If you want to go check out that episode, it's like a 2-hour chat.
Are they on Daily Wire's network? Or are they?
No, they're on
independent?
Censored TV, censored.tv. They're on Gavin's network, but they're also on YouTube. So they do.
They're on Gavin's network?
Yeah, they do.
Censored.tv is Gavin?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure 100% that's Gavin.
What is Alex's?
I don't know. There's not. I don't think it's there. But so I'm Doing Great does an episode.
Oh, band.video is Alex Jones. Yeah, there
We need to start a Censored Catholic. Yes. If you were thrown into a larger platform like the Daily Wire, would you water down your message? Absolutely. No. To appeal to the Jews. He didn't say that. To appeal to more people, or would you... See, this is reckless, actually. To appeal to more people, or would you keep the same approach? First of all, I'm quite convinced the Daily Wire isn't interested in having me. They did suggest that we could do some work together, but I made it clear that I am not willing to move from Steubenville, and I am not willing to talk about politics because it bores me, and I'm not really willing to stop preaching. I don't really want to do that, and I don't think it would be within their best interest to have a Catholic channel
No,
or
and I
a
don't
Calvinist
think
channel, or you know.
And it also, it both ways. It just limit both parties in certain ways.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah.
Cool.
What shows did you? Oh, someone asked that. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all the questions we got.
You want me to ask some really off the wall questions? then?
Yes.
Okay.
You making these
Who
up?
is
Better looking.
That was
Michael
actually going to be the
Knowles
question.
Or Brett Cooper?
No,
I don't know.
Michael Knowles.
I can't tell.
Does Michael Knowles look as much like Rachel Maddow in real life as he looks like Rachel
that's
Maddow on
Oh
the
gosh,
internet?
no. He's more beautiful, I think. Now Michael is a wonderful fella.
I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying when he puts
looks
glasses on, he looks like Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, he probably does a little bit.
What do you mean? It doesn't. This was like a meme. This is the reason he stopped wearing glasses. It's because people just started tweeting at him pictures of him next to Rachel Maddow.
That is so funny. I'll say this about Michael. Michael seems like a really humble guy, and stuff just washes over him really easy. So. All right, what else we got? Did you get to make a $50 million joke? Does that mean something that I don't know about?
Yeah, they were asking if you asked for Crowder money.
Oh, funny. Yeah, it's like, so Caleb, I understand you've got $50 million laying around, so I'm ready to become Jewish whenever you're willing to write the check.
It's in the contract.
The problem with having you as my producer is that, like, your views are far more fringe than mine, but I like getting a rise out of people, and you're the only one in the studio to get a rise out of, and in order to get a rise out of you, I really have to press the envelope.
Yeah, no.
You want to hear a Jew joke?
Is it the flabby skin one?
No! Here's the Jew joke. So this Asian is sitting at the bar, and he's up the bar from a Jew, just the two of them. And the Asian, no. What happened?
Nothing.
No, the Jew comes over and he punches the Asian in the face and he falls on the ground. He says, "What the hell was that for?" And he says, "For Pearl Harbor." He says, "I'm Chinese." He says, "Chinese, Japanese, Korean, it's all the same." And he goes back and he sits down. I'm trying to remember this joke as I tell it. Anyway, then the Asian gets up and he walks over and he punches the Jew right in the face. He falls off and he says, "What was that for?" And he says, "That's for the Titanic." He says, "That was an iceberg." And then he says, "Iceberg." And then what are Jew names that end in berg?
Goldenberg.
Goldberg. It's all the same. That's a pretty good Jew joke.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. I'm going to tell Dennis Prager that. Dennis Prager is
fact?
coming on the show. He'll be in the studio soon.
Do you want to hear a
I think
fun
he'd
fact
appreciate
about the Titanic?
I'm so glad you said that. Yes.
Okay, so
But make it quick because no one can see your face.
These are all searchable facts, okay? They had a meeting.
Okay.
These guys, these big money guys, had a meeting in the early 1900s, and they were like, "We should start this bank called the Federal Reserve, and it won't be controlled by the government, but everybody will think it is, and it'll kind of control the entire money for all of the country and then eventually the world." But they needed unanimous consent, and 3 of the guys were like, "No," right?
Mhm.
So they didn't do it. But Woodrow Wilson wanted to do it, so they didn't have. It was just these 3 guys in the way, and then out of all of these guys, it was like 15 or 12, I can't remember. Those 3 guys were on the Titanic, and they all died, and none of the other guys in that group were on the Titanic.
Wow.
And then, like, less than a year later, they started the Federal Reserve.
Good reason to think that's true?
That is all those facts are,
All right.
draw what conclusions you will. Those are all facts that you can look up.
Draw the conclusions yourself. Trad Albert says, "Would you be willing to go on censored.tv and sit down with Gavin?" Okay, let me share my views about Gavin. Gavin is one of the funniest people I have ever heard. Gavin also says things that I think are incredibly immoral and evil, and he needs to stop. Because I think some of the things he says, young men desperately need to hear, like quit porn and things like that. But then he'll say other things that make it seem like he's glorifying sexual deviancy. Now, maybe he's stopped that, or maybe he would say, "I know, but it's kind of a joke and you don't get it." And fair enough, I guess I don't get it. But I do like him, and I wouldn't not be open to having a chat with him. But if we did, it would only be on locals. Yeah. Yep. It is funny that, like, people who are like, if you are a critic of someone online, you just don't like them, maybe you spam them. If you meet them in public, you're usually nice to them. Don't you think?
I've never met somebody in real life that I was mean to on the internet.
Because I get people who are mean to me online, and I go home and cry and stuff. But then when I meet people,
Confirm.
But when I meet people in public, I never get that. And I think to myself, it's not like they all just think I'm great. So
I'm doing great. The podcast with Mike and the Sheila that Matt can't remember the name of. I should look her name up. We should be more respectful.
Well, I didn't meet her, so that's why I don't remember her name.
Mike and Gina.
Gina, yeah. She seems lovely. Yeah, he just converted to Catholicism. She, I think, is on the fence between Orthodoxy and Catholicism. But they began their podcast kind of making fun of Christians and not wanting to be Christian. and they just sort of gradually have been moving over. All right, you wanted to show me something from... here, one more question while you pull that up. Javier says, you guys spoke a bit about young men in their 20s going on an adventure in that bunker you were in. I'm a young man in my 20s going to med school, but also want to have a family soon.
I'm glad you asked this question.
All right.
Who is that?
Javier, is that how you say?
I don't know.
Yep.
You should answer that question, but also, how do I not get a shout out during that conversation, Matt?
I'm sorry,
I mean, like, he's literally telling the Thursday story there. Pick it up and move. Don't have a job. Live out of your car.
That's true.
He's like telling the Thursday story. And
you did text me. I felt
everybody in the chat was like, oh, yeah, he's talking about Thursday.
Oh.
No, everybody in the chat thought he was talking about me. And then you guys just moved on, and I was like, what is that? What is going on?
I get no shout out.
I got no mention at all.
Yeah. I like that. We actually just released that as a clip today publicly on YouTube. You can go check that out. Matt Walsh is talking about why men need adventure. It's really good. Yeah. So anyway, what's this fella saying? Any advice for my stage in life? Going to med school, but also want to have a family soon. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, some people are being called to be a doctor, I guess, is what you might be doing. And maybe things are different for you. I'm just glad that I didn't wait till I had everything. Like when I married my wife, I was unemployed and an illegal alien living in the United States.
So cool.
Because I got fired.
Except for the illegal
on
alien.
my birthday. How cool's that?
That's a pretty neat
July
story.
16th, it's my birthday. A priest fires me. I'm unemployed and illegal. And I call my father-in-law. I'm like, hey, looking forward to marrying your daughter next month. Just a couple of things. I'm unemployed because I just got fired. And, and I'm now illegal. And he was really cool about it. He said, yeah, well, I've had hard times in my marriage. I've been fired before. So what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to marry your daughter. It's going to be awesome. So don't let your career stand in the way of getting married. Maybe try to do both.
Somebody in the chat. Oh, I muted my microphone. Somebody in the chat asked if they could get Thursday's real name. And the answer to that is now and forever. No.
Unless you're Brett Cooper and you'd like to try to win over Thursday, who isn't interested in you, to be clear.
That is not, oh my, why can this not just be normal? Why are you
Fire
making this
Lover
weird?
306 says, what is something that you learned at Daily Wire? So here's something that I am jealous of, okay? They have a whole team of creative people around them that basically tell them what they're doing that day, and all the ideas are excellent. So here's one example. I just watched the other day. Matt Walsh just went over his previous sets, you know, like out of his car and these different things. They think of all these things. Basically, he comes and he sits down and they tell him what we're going to show you and you're going to react to it. And so he does all those things. And then they've got this incredible editor. You should check him out. Maybe learn a thing or two. And then they do all that for you. Or that other time they went to a safe room. What's that? Like you break out of the safe room. What are they called?
The puzzle escape room?
Escape room. Yeah, like that's another example where they basically told Michael and Matt, we need to see you here at 1 p.m. And so they didn't know what was happening. They just show up. There's a camera crew all around them. They get them this fancy car. They take them to an escape room and film them trying to do that. Now, the reason, of course, they have to do this is because they have to sell ads to make that sweet, sweet cash. But having a team of people around you who are kind of like directing the engine of what you do, that sounds cool. That is really next level.
Yeah, but I don't know if that would work for you.
No.
I think
I'm too picky.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to look at this tweet now?
All right.
All right.
Hey, quick question. How's Cameron doing? Your wife, not the recent convert. She's good. She's coming back tonight from Guatemala. I cannot wait to see her. Yep, go.
Just light that chrism candle. Man.
Light that chrism candle. Set the baptismal mood. By the way, everybody, this is a new sponsor we have. They're called Everything Catholic.
Oh, hold on.
And they sell everything Catholic. Well, not everything, but I've got a chrism candle, chrism-scented bee wax candle they sent me. They've got rosaries. This is a bunch of more chrism things. Look at this. Chrism aromatherapy body and room spray. Just smells like tradition. Everythingcatholic.com. don't go to Amazon. Go to everythingcatholic.com and use the promo code PINTS and you'll get 15% off of everything, your whole order. Wow, that's really intense.
It's amazing. All right, here we go.
But that candle legitimately smells amazing, does it not?
Oh, it smells so good. It smells just like chrism oil.
Sometimes you'll get a candle and you'll smell it and you think, wow, this smells amazing. And you light it and you don't get that same intense, beautiful smell. But that is not true with this one.
Okay, so the tweet is on screen.
So here's I haven't been in Australia forever. So this is the current Prime Minister?
Yeah, I looked it up. And I also from what I could confirm, this is a real tweet.
Oh, really? So it's that bad? Because you mentioned it to me. It's that bad that it may not be a real tweet. We should probably figure that out. Would you ever keep a gun in the house for home defense? Yes, and I definitely do. How many cigars did you guys burn through during that stream? So George was on his third Cuban.
Cuban? Those are expensive.
That's all they smoked. That's all they were giving me. That's all I was willing to take.
Oh, it's a parody account. My bad.
Oh,
whoops.
You know how good it is that you check that out?
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to the Prime Minister of my home and native land, and I pray for you and I wish you well. And I'd like to apologize that Thursday spread misinformation about you that nearly went live on the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do click subscribe, click the bell button. Tomorrow night, we've got a massive debate. It's going to look fantastic. We're bringing in a third-party camera crew. It's going to be wild and woolly. So click subscribe, click the bell button. That way you'll never miss out on a video that we put out. Cool?
Vibin.
Who?
Said vibin.
God bless you.